Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Eric Daniel Coughlin, and today we are going to continue the march through the NFL offseason, and we are going to switch gears and change gears into the AFC conference of the NFL. And so today, what we're going to do is break down the AFC North Division offseason changes, starting with we're going to start things off with the Baltimore Ravens. The reason why we're starting with the Baltimore Ravens, does anyone want to take a guess? Because the Baltimore Ravens won their division. What have we been doing this whole time? We've been taking the division winners, and we've been starting with them, and then we've been marching ourselves through each and every division, therefore, after. So that being said, let's get started on your Baltimore Ravens offseason changes. How about quarterback Josh Johnson? That doesn't mean nothing. You guys are just bringing in a little backup quarterback. Wide receiver Nelson Aguilar. If my memory serves me correctly, I think Aguilar was on your team last year. You guys pretty much just re-signed him. Defensive end Kyle Van Voy. Defensive tackle Justin uh, Mabuki. Defensive tackle Brent Urban. Cornerback Chris Board. Cornerback Malik Harrison. I like that. And cornerback Arthur Mullett. So that is 9 signings by your Baltimore Ravens. Pretty much by judging this list, I'm assuming that there's pretty much no changes to the team at all. Almost all these guys were probably already on your roster last year. So all you guys did was said, hell, we won this division last year. Let's just keep the same team and win it again this year. That's your guys' mindset. All in all, I think it's pretty slick, pretty smart. Aguilar is a good wide receiver, so to keep him is pretty smart. You're going to need that for Lamar. So when Lamar's not running around and actually throwing the ball. So all in all, good job. Hey, like I said, you guys won the division last year. So all in all, good job, good job, good job. Moving forward to the Cincinnati Bengals. Ready for this. Running back Zach Moss. I like it. Wide receiver T. Higgins got the franchise tag. I love it. Wide receiver Trenton Irwin. Not too sure who Trenton Irwin is. Tight end Mike Getsy. I like that. Tight end Tanner Hudson. Tight end Drew Sample. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins. I like Sheldon Rankins. Linebacker Akeem Davis Gathers. Safety Von Bell. I love that. Safety Geno Stone. So not a whole lot of changes, for the Cincinnati Bengals. However, business needed to be took care of. You guys knew that there's no way you'd let a weapon like T. Higgins go, so you guys franchise tagged him. Maybe you guys work out the deal, give him the big bag this offseason. If you're smart, you make him one of the richest wide receivers in the NFL, or you're going to lose a guy like him to almost anybody in the league. Anybody can use a guy like T. Higgins. We all know the story. It's rude to say, and it's unpopular, but the man killed the man. I don't know what to say about that other than T. Higgins is the absolute ideal wide receiver. He's tall, he's fast, he's strong, he's fearless. He can catch anything, anywhere. That's the reason why I want him to stay a Bengal. If you guys can, know me personally, if you guys know me pretty well, or if you've just been following me the last year on the show, you'll learn one thing. That my AFC team is what? The Cincinnati Bengals, all because of who? Chad Johnson, Carson Palmer, TJ Houshmandzadeh. Now I have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So you see what I used to have, I have all over again. So that being said, great job by the Cincinnati Bengals to know that you're good enough to stay. If you can just stay healthy. We lost Joe Burrow last year. Hopefully we don't lose Joe Burrow this year. And hopefully we're looking at the winners of the AFC North, and that is being the Cincinnati Bengals. But we're not going to jump to conclusions just yet. We're only halfway done. Let's move on to the Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, before I start listing off these free agents, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history, a little bit of, what I like to call Coughlin knowledge, something that I've never even put on the show before, but I'm going to start doing that. Coughlin knowledge. This is cute. So in my lifetime, I've seen 2 quarterbacks in my 36 years of life bring the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs, and that being one, Jeff Garcia, way back in the 90s. Good job, Jeff. and one Baker Mayfield as recent as the year 2020, 2021. I started this podcast a year ago, and within the earliest of my podcast episodes, I told you guys that the Cleveland Browns are no longer a trash team in the NFL. They've served their time in the dumpsters, and they've been waiting to take over in the NFL, and they've been making their name seen in the playoff picture of recent years. All that being said, the Cleveland Browns have got 16 new guys, whether that be re-signs, whether that be free agent signings, whether that's new players, old players, just players in general, 16 offseason signings for your Cleveland Browns. And they start with one quarterback, Tyler Huntley. Quarterback, Jameis Winston. Fucking love that. Excuse my language for all you younger guys. I like it. I like Jameis Winston. Running back, Deontay Foreman. Again, I like that. Running back, Nakeem Hines. Wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. In case you guys want to know who Jerry Jeudy is, he's been the number one guy in Denver for about the last 3 years. Good one. How about wide receiver, James Porsche? Defensive end, Zadarius Smith. You guys know who he is. You guys drafted him. You guys kept him. Great job. Zadarius Smith. Great job. Defensive tackle, Shelby Harris. Defensive tackle, Maurice Hurst. Defensive tackle, Quentin Jefferson. A lot of defensive tackles staying on this defense. Linebacker, Devin Bush. Great job. I love that. Linebacker, Jordan Hicks. I love that too. Cornerback, Tony Brown. Safety, Rodney Mecklin Jr. Kicker, Cade York. And punter, Corey Barraquez. Corey Barraquez. How about that? You guys got a Spanish kicker over there. How about that? All right, Cleveland. First of all, I'm going to tell you guys a great job right off the bat. For a long time, or let's just say not a long time. Let's just say the last 2 years, 3 years, minus last year because of the injury. You guys have been a one-man show, Nick Chubb, right? And then when you do have signs of a good player, it's been Amari Cooper's been shining for you guys a little bit. Hayden Hurst last year looked really good for you guys. You guys got him from Cincinnati Bengals, tight end. So all in all, you guys have been hurting for some offense, but you guys got Jerry Jeudy. That's going to help a lot of your offense. Deontay Foreman, even with or without Nick Chubb, if Nick Chubb stays healthy and Deontay stays the backup, he's going to get playing time. That helps the offense and helps the special teams, by the way. Another one, Zadarius Smith, keeping Zadarius Smith. I think that was tremendous. Getting Devin Bush, I think that was tremendous. Jameis Winston alone having a backup and that's youthful and that can play. Now, I think Joe Flacco did a great job for you guys last year. And if you guys don't think Joe Flacco did a great job for you, you guys are laughing at yourselves. He saved your guys' season last year. He was the reason why you guys made the playoffs last year. But if you could do all of that with old bones Joe, I'm super excited to see what you guys can do with Jameis Winston. And I know, the big hope is you don't have to find out, right? You're going to, have Deshaun Watson over there. You guys already signed him to a big 4-year deal before he ever even played one game for you guys. That was what you guys did. But, you're hoping the money pays off. You're hoping he stays healthy. You're hoping he does good. And you're hoping that this offense starts to move the ball to help the defense. Because that being said, the defense has been phenomenal for the last 5 years. Half decade, guys. Cleveland Browns have been smacking people around left and right. They've made the playoffs a couple of times. If they never let go of Baker, they probably would have continuously made the playoffs. Good job, Cleveland Browns. Way to pull yourselves out of the dumpster. Great job. Moving forward to the final team, every division has 4 teams. Everyone knows that. Right. That's just the rules. It's just how the league is built. That being said, I bring you to the steel curtain, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans, for you who may not know, and there's probably a shit ton of you that already know, and you don't even want to hear it from a Bears fan. You guys got 18 signings this offseason. So I covered the entire NFC last week. The most changes in the NFC was 18. You guys have 18. So you are tied with the second most changes in the offseason. This is what you guys have done. Obviously, the big news, everyone already knows. Let's talk about it. You guys brought in Russell Wilson. Great job. You guys brought in Justin Fields. Thank you very much for that. You guys brought in another one. How many out there know that you guys brought in 3 quarterbacks? That's right. And not a quarterback showing up this offseason was on your team last year. 3 brand new quarterbacks coming to Pittsburgh. How about Kyle Allen? Kyle Allen, yes. Kyle Allen is Josh Allen's brother and is also, they have another brother. There's another Allen out there. And he's ironically a quarterback too. Josh Jordan and now Kyle. I want to say it's Jordan Allen. And now Kyle Allen. There's 3 Allen brothers that are all quarterbacks in the NFL. So 3 new quarterbacks for your Pittsburgh Steelers. How about 4 wide receivers? Let's talk about it. Van Jefferson, Scott Miller, Cordero Patterson. Yes, the Cordero Patterson. And Quez Watkins. 4 new wide receivers for you guys. How about a tight end? 1 tight end, Michael Pruitt. I've seen that name a lot, but I've never really paid attention to the numbers behind the name, so I don't even know if that's even going to be a good thing for you guys. You guys got Pruitt. How about defensive tackle, Montravius Adams? Another defensive tackle, Dean Cowery. Cornerback, Patrick Queen. I like that. Getting Patrick Queen. I like that. Cornerback, Anthony Averett. Cornerback, Deontay Jackson. And cornerback, Cameron Sutton. And then safety, Deshaun Elliott. So you spent a lot of money on your secondary. Cornerbacks coming out the wazoo. And then a safety to boot. Then you guys spent a lot of money on quarterbacks. You guys spent a lot of money on wide receivers. Let's just break it down to you guys pretty much went through a brand new rebuild all in one off season. Not a lot of teams can do it. Ironically, you guys found the money to be able to do it. I think a lot of that has to do with being a successful program for the entire existence of the franchise. So good job for having the money to completely change everything about you. That being said, let's break down what you really did. So you guys brought in Russell Wilson, but he's old as fuck. Then you guys brought in Justin Fields to back him up just in case Russell don't work. You're thinking that Justin will, but Justin hasn't proven anything since he's been into the league. Then not that I know for sure, but you might have drafted Kyle Allen. You might have just found him undrafted free agent Kyle Allen. You guys brought in an Allen brother you probably don't know nothing about. So is that a good job? Pittsburgh, the Steel Curtain? I don't know. All right. Cordero Patterson. Funny, fancy that. Because I think this is year 15 for Cordero Patterson. What do you think you're going to do with a 15-year-old veteran wide receiver? Big questions, because obviously you think you're going to plug him into the special teams. You think he's going to be your kick returner. You think he's going to be your punt returner. You think you might could slot him in as like a 5th down, a 6th down wide receiver / running back. You think he's the man. He's old as fuck. Old as fuck. Van Jefferson, never heard of him. Scott Miller, have no idea who he is. Quez Watkins, clueless. You guys brought in a whole bunch of names, so a whole bunch of people don't even know who the fuck you got. Excuse my language, all you younger generation out there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following me, throughout covering this year's offseason, I've covered every division. I've broken down every division. I've picked winners. I've picked losers. We've come to that time. It's time to break down who's the top and who's the not in your AFC North division. All right, I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals to win this division, and I'm laughing because I'm scared. I'm picking the Bengals merely because I love Jamar Chase. I love T. Higgins. I love Joe Burrow. I love what they're doing, but they did lose Mixon, and then they bring in Zach Moss. I don't know about it. Second place team, the Cleveland Browns, and the reason why I think I don't know about Cincinnati, because I'm going to be boldly open and boldly honest with everyone that's going to sit here and watch my episode and sit with me and listen to me. I think the Cleveland Browns can win this division. Hands down, I think they could definitely. I think this division is up for grabs, and Cleveland's defense proves that all they need is a little bit of offensive help, and they went out and they got a lot of offensive help. I think Cleveland Browns are the team to beat, but I'm slotting them at 2. Obviously, Baltimore Ravens at 3. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, dead last, 4th place in your AFC North. Will not be a playoff team this year. Will have more questions than answers this year. And also might want to consider contemplating letting go of Mike Tomlin. It might be time for a new coach. Might be time for a new owner. Might be time for a new manager because the steel curtain has closed on you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're going to wrap things up this evening. If you like what you heard and you enjoyed what you see, always feel free to cash at me, Erick Daniel Coughlin, #Coughlin Pride. Have a nice day.